What is up, everybody? Welcome to Beta Quick Tips, episode 5. Today's episode is called Prepare a Table. It's a smart way of saying make your opponent eat. I know you're probably all thinking, Divine Foe, you crazy? You don't want to make your opponent eat, you want to kill them. But just hear me out on this. An eating opponent is a good thing. In the new combat, when you eat, you pay the price. Every time you eat a food, your adrenaline bar gets lowered. So as well as punishing safers, this is also an amazing technique to get kills. If you score a deadly combo and get the KO, great, good for you. If you score a deadly combo and almost get the KO, I guarantee you they're going to be eating. And when they're eating, their adrenaline's going to be lowered. So the next attacks you hit them with are going to hurt a lot more and they're not going to be able to defend it. Right here is an example of how I do that. I'm fighting a guy who's 9 levels higher than me, and through my use of a deadly KO combo, he eats and loses adrenaline because of it. As you can see, his adrenaline bar is about a quarter full, and as he starts to eat, it drops to nothing. When someone's adrenaline bar is next to nothing, and your adrenaline bar is near or at ultimates, you're going to kill them, almost guaranteed. You have a huge edge in combat. Not only do you have the ability to use thresholds, and they don't, they also can't use defensive abilities and other abilities that will cause you to eat and lower your adrenaline bar. So making your opponent eat keeps the fight under your control. You dictate where the fight goes if your opponent's eating. If they're safing, you're winning the fight, because their adrenaline is paying the price for their eating. I try to eat as little as possible in my fights to prevent that from happening to me. Instead, I'm focusing solely on dropping my opponent's health to a point where they're always eating or getting worried about getting comboed out. At this point in the fight, I already have the adrenaline edge on this guy. And as I start to score more and more combos, especially with my bleeds, he starts to eat and his adrenaline goes down even further. See, every time he eats, his adrenaline bar goes down, to the point where it's absolutely nothing and I completely dictate where the fight will go. Let's take a look at that again from a closer perspective. I land the bleed, I walk back, and I start comboing the hell out of him. Then he starts eating. Every time he eats, his adrenaline goes down lower and lower and lower, as you can see here, to the point where it's absolutely nothing. And because of his now lack of adrenaline, I can easily get the KO by scoring deadly combos that he can't defend against, thus making him die a terrible, terrible death. I'm sorry, sir. Although this is a PVM clip, this demonstrates what happens when you eat during a fight. My adrenaline is at full right now, and then I start eating, and as you can see, it drops. It's a pretty steady amount too, so if you make your opponent eat a lot, they're going to lose their adrenaline, pass their thresholds, and hit nothing. And that's it for today's episode. Sorry for the lack of clips, I've been really busy today, but I assure you that episode 6 will be a lot longer and better. Thank you for watching. Peace.